Hey there, everyone. Welcome back. Holy cow, let me tell you what, today, what a crazy trading day that we've had. Um, I spent a lot of the morning of it getting my live stream equipment ready and really just kind of getting it together and trying to figure out how to set up a clean HDMI on my camera. I think that I got it all figured out, and I'm really, really excited to start including more live streaming. That first time that I put it up on YouTube was an absolute, well, I call it a disaster, but that was by my standards. I refused to watch it. It wasn't supposed to go out to YouTube. It was just, I was making it up for my Patreon. I was doing my first live streaming there just to kind of, get my feet wet and really get that as sort of experience. But put it out to the public, and a couple hundred people watched it or something like that. It wasn't anything big. However, I got software ready, I got the hardware ready, so I'm really looking forward to doing more live streams and doing some live interaction with the community on YouTube. There's a lot of awesome people out there. I see a lot of awesome people in my comments, so thank you very much. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to check out my Patreon, there's a link down in the description for that. Just another way to support the channel over there. It's more of the premium service, if you will. It'd be more of the interaction while I'm not presenting on YouTube, for example. Would be another way to do that. I got my dividend portfolio over there, my growth portfolio, which has recovered quite well in the past few weeks. As a matter of fact, the recovery is actually kind of scary that it's so fast. So that's something to be cautious over. The AMC news has actually been really good for a lot of these smaller plays and really kind of taking away some of that downward pressure that we've had on them, and certainly bringing in some more upward pressure on those. We just got to be careful that we don't get the rug pulled out from under our feet. So, for me, being able to take some profit in some of those places where we've had such a quick run up would be an excellent thing to do. And so for you guys, I just say, consider taking some profit here and there, because we don't know how quickly this upward movement will stop for us. So just I'll get out my bull book and right. It's been a lot of green for us. There's been some red areas too. I do want to talk about AMC today, Clover Health, BNGO, just a lot of exciting charts. But then also I want to talk about Shift Technologies, ChargePoint, Digital Turbine. They're just ones that I think are of a lot of interest, and I think that they're worth this video today and worth taking a look at to see what sort of direction we have going with those, or just to feel some of the excitement that we've had with those stocks recently. All right, so let's get ready to rock. All right, welcome back. I already mentioned that link down in the description for my Patreon. You can go over there, check it out if you'd like to. That link's down in the description. Also down there, you'll find a link to WEBULL. It's the trading platform that you see in my videos. You can sign up, deposit $100, get 2 free stocks. I get 2 free stocks for the referral. So thank you ahead of time for that. I appreciate any support you guys show, even if it's just watching these videos. Hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more, so that we can know anytime that they come out. Hit the notification bell so you get those notifications. Hit the thumbs up button to help out the algorithm so that more people see my videos, and it helps grow the channel that way as well. Lots of certainly free ways if you're not into spending money for things like YouTube videos. Those would be definitely ways that you can go ahead and do that at no cost to you. Also passing along by word of mouth or text message or email, however it is that you communicate with your friends. If you wouldn't mind helping me grow this channel, if you like this channel, I highly appreciate it. The more support that I see, the more content that I can bring to you. So thank you very much ahead of time. Let's move on to the stocks. All right, so here we're looking at the 30-minute chart for AMC, and you can see that we had trouble, didn't quite make it up over the $60 mark. 59.68 is where we topped out intraday. So when you look at this, it doesn't look too bad. Honestly, I don't think. I think that we still had that pressure on. We had decent volume. You can see it's comparable to what we saw before. As a matter of fact, I think it's a little bit higher. We'll go out to the daily chart in just a moment. There's just a few things I want to talk about here. I think it is just a little bit higher than what we saw on Friday to close out the week. You can see we're hitting some pretty hard resist, right about $59 up to about $60. So I think breaking 60 would really be important going forward, just to see that we still have some momentum going on the short squeeze, the one that's we'll call it the ape movement, trying to really to move that along. And I did happen to say we, because I did make my purchase. It was a small purchase, but I do want to show my support for the ape movement, for equitable trading opportunities for the retail investor like myself and like those of you watching this video, and also with the hedge funds, so that we have the same opportunities they do, and that we don't have this sort of unfair selling pressure that we would have trying to run companies into the ground through their stock price. It just doesn't seem like the right thing to do, and it's not really a practice that I myself would take part in. And when we look here, we get this double bottom support right around like the $52 mark or so. So it's nice to see that support come in, and into the after hours we're recovering back to around $56. So maybe that would set up a little range for us. Now, something that I think is interesting about the daily chart for AMC, when you look here, you can see that sharp run upward that we have, but check out the highs and the lows, and the fact that we have sort of this slant line. Let me bring out my drawing tools here. Check out the way those tops and those bottoms for this one. The way that they just seem to, I must have right-clicked, there we go. The way that they seem to be squeezing up. This thing is either going to break upwards or it's going to break downwards, and really we want to see this volume keep up. So when we look at the share repurchasing period, the time that the short sellers would have in order to sell their, or buy back their shares, I should say, whatever time frame that is, we could see that spike happen within the next few days. I'm not saying that this is going to spike upwards. It could. I don't know. But if we do cause that short squeeze to happen, then we're going to see some upward movement take place on this one, and it could be much larger than this gamma squeeze that we see here. Also, this thing could break lower if this movement should happen to fall flat, that we have people paper handing it, and it just happens to fall short on that. So just some things to be aware of as you look at this. But I think that overall it was still a great day for AMC, and you can see that with the volume today, almost 341 million shares traded in that volume, versus when we look back to Friday's trading day, only 326 million. Almost 327 million, but to say only, it's just astounding volumes that we have going. So I think that we still have movement, we still have momentum, and I don't know that our run is done yet with AMC. Clover Health, some of my patrons were talking about this. Look at this trading day that Clover Health had. Ran up all the way to $12 per share before closing at $11.92 for the day, and on a very nice volume spike at that. And it broke this previous high that we had over here. Let me see the high price, $11.77. So kudos to anybody who's in Clover Health, but I do believe that this is moving largely in sympathy with the meme stocks that are out there, like AMC, GME. Clover Health I've heard mentioned many times along with that. Here, BNGO is actually one that I've covered, and I do like Bionano Genomics. So when you look at this one, and the news, it's funny because if you look at the news on this, it's not attributed to anything to do with the momentum that we saw in these sort of growth stocks. It was attributed to getting a new CCO. Bionano runs higher following CCO appointment. It probably is true that it ran higher after that person was appointed, although I think that a lot of what we see with this gap up that we have and this large amount of volume, it goes right along with the same thing that we saw in Clover Health. Let's take a quick look intraday on BNGO. BNGO is one that I'm bullish on. It's one that I made my money on when it was all the way down at, like, I think I had it around $2 per share, and I sold my position by the time that it hit about $7 or $8 a share. I believe that was my original position. Then I took back a much smaller one, and I think my price that I have right now, I'm sitting at something like $12. So it looks like I'm in the red, but if you look at my overall cost basis for the year for BNGO, I'm still way ahead profit-wise, and the amount that I hold now is a long-term hold, because I think that BNGO is going to grow into their slightly oversized shoes over time. All right, I want to move on. All right, check this out. Shift Technologies. I picked this one up out of the gutter when we saw, I believe it was a capital raise that caused them to gap downward that we have here, and I think that I got them at around $6.43. So even though it wasn't perfect timing for the market and it catch it at the exact bottom, that's still, I believe, one of the lowest prices that it had in its history. So if we zoom out here, if we go to this candle, the low here was 640. So I got it at like one of the lowest prices in the history of Shift Technologies. So let me zoom in a little bit more on this one. Back to this window, and you can see we just had a nice run up since then. So it recovered nicely. I actually ended up selling a call option on this one, trying to just add to my position a little bit. This was more of a swing trade for me, and so this would be something to more guarantee the gains that I experience on that one. So the strike price for that was $7.50, and so the break-even price on that, I think it was like $90 or something that I ended up making from it. So $8.40 would be the first time that it would make sense for whoever bought that option from me in order to for them to break even. $8.40 would be the break-even price, which we're still below that. Now, Piper Sandler, I believe it was on Friday, initiated a price target on this one of $14. So from $8, that's $6 up from there. That's about 75% upside from today's close. So Shift Technology, in competition with like Carvana, for example, selling cars online, this is one that that a lot of people are very bullish on, and then there's some skeptics out there who think that they don't stand a chance to make it profitable, in which case they would have a bearish sentiment. For me, I think that they have a great opportunity, and I have a small position that would be just for, you know, the chance that they have to make it up to that $14, but then I also have that larger position that I have a call option sold against it, which I don't expect it to execute. It might, honestly. We're getting closer to the $8.40 than I thought that we would. I could take the opportunity to close my position and maintain those shares, and I have a little bit of time to decide on that one. So we'll see what takes place. However, I think that Shift Technologies, when you take a look at it, that sort of upside that Piper Sandler sees, I just wanted to bring this to you guys because I want to bring you as many opportunities as we can. And a 75% upside over 12 months, I mean, why not take a look at it? Why not check it out and see if you see the same things that Piper Sandler sees, see if you guys agree. So do your own research, your due diligence, check it out, see what you think, and, you know, good luck to you either way. All right, another stock that I'm bullish on is ChargePoint, and this one, man, it ran through the ringer under $20 at one point. $19 is where it bottomed out at, and if you're able to get in that bottom, you already have a 50% upside from there. And let me adjust my graph here. There we go. I mean, you could just see the tumultuous time that it's had since its sell-off. This thing was up 40, let me see, I thought it was closer, there we go, almost $50 per share at one point in time, so it's still down about half of what it was, but it's had a climb all the way since back at this point, looks like about the middle of May into, well, we're in the beginning of June, so what, 3 weeks time or so, and it's just been a straight climb up. So if you were able to buy in at the bottom, that's a pretty quick climb. So depending on your position on this, if you're way up in the money for this one and you think, hey, you know, I'd hate to lose this money, well, you can do a couple things. You could set a trailing stop, you could set a hard stop, you could sell just part of your position. You could keep on holding if you think that this is going to keep on going up over the long term. For me, my position is a long-term hold. I have a fairly large position in this one relative to the rest of my growth portfolio. So for me, I'm holding on to this one. I made my money on it back when it was much higher. I sold a couple different positions on this one before settling on my final position. My final position, I'm down, let me see, about not quite 20%. I would say I'm down like 15 to 18% or so on my current position, but my overall cost basis, I'm up for the year on ChargePoint. So this is one, and you can even see, look at that volume increasing with it as well. Let's pull up the RSI. I bet you this thing, there we go. Look at that. Look at that strength that we have pumping there. So we're not even into the overbought territory, but we have higher lows and higher highs the whole time. This thing looks like it's still gathering momentum. So we'll see what takes place over time. It is nice to see some of that pressure come off and also some of that strength to come back into this one. Slap the MACD up there just for a moment. We're not even quite getting a sell signal yet from the MACD when we look at that one. One final thing, let me get rid of those. Bring up my Bollinger Bands, another one that's my favorite. Now, according to this one, seeing those prices go up so rapidly, we're above 2 standard deviations above this mean that we have here, which means that these are unusually high prices. So, according to the Bollinger Bands, this would be a time that if I had a swing position, I would look into either selling part or all of my position in order to take some of that profit, and if I wanted to buy back in later, I could buy back in later, or I could leave it alone for other opportunities. But those are just some things that I wanted to discuss. One that I'm really excited about is Digital Turbine, and they're going to be presenting at a conference on June the 9th. I believe it's a digital security conference, so we could have some good news coming out from them Now, I thought that they would stay. I mentioned this before in one of my videos. I thought that they would stay somewhere around the $70 mark. This thing fell off all the way to 53, but it was among a lot of other selling pressure for tech companies like this. This was part of a bigger tech sell-off in general. So I was able to reduce my cost basis for my position that I have in Digital Turbine with some of this sell-off that we had. And we can see this March that we have back upwards, that it's starting to climb back up. And again, if it was a short-term position, I would likely consider selling this one because we're up above the Bollinger Bands like that, but there are other considerations. We have broken through a lot of this resistance that we had, and let me get rid of that. Toss up the EMA. There we go. So, ooh, that's nice. So we came down and we actually tagged the 200 day EMA that we have. So this is acting sort of as a line of support, just barely dipping down it for one day and then back up, and then it rebounded nicely from there. And look at that resistance that we have almost perfectly on the 50-day simple moving average. So this is exactly why I like to use these two indicators, because we do get some of these clear signals when we look at them. So this could act as a resistance, and that sort of goes along with what I was saying with the Bollinger Bands, hitting that 2 standard deviations above the mean that we're looking at here being possibly a good time to sell. So just some things to consider when you take a look at it. I am bullish on apps overall. If you look at the analyst estimates on it, I mean, check it out. We're below the low analyst estimate, which is a good sign. So we still have like $15 to get there from today's close. And from the price that we have right now, that's like a 20% upside just to the low estimate, and the high estimate up to 132. Now we're getting into that territory where we're more talking about like a 75% upside again. I always like to look at the average, go right in the middle. If I can make it to the low and still see a significant upside, good, excellent. But then I like to look to the average to be more realistic, and this is based off 5 analyst estimates. So from that, we need another $30 up. So that's like a 40% upside from where we sit right now for the next 12 months. So I just think with apps that we have incredible opportunity here, and it's a company that just consistently puts out large growth numbers, and I think that they're going to continue to expand over time and really come out to impress us. Alright, so that's what I have for you guys today. I hope that you enjoyed my video. If you did, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't. And tell your friends about this stuff. Hit the notification bell so you can see when my videos come out. And hit the like button to help uprank this video on YouTube so that more of my videos get seen more often, more of the time. Thank you so much. If you want to join my Patreon, links down in the description. If you want to check out WEBULL, which you saw in the video today, you can click that link down in the description as well. Sign up, deposit your $100 and get your 2 free stocks. Get me my 2 free stocks to help support this channel, and you get free money out of it, and I also get free money out of it, and so it's a win-win for both of us. It's absolutely awesome. Thank you for any support that you show. It's been an incredible experience so far, and I look forward to doing more of this as the days and weeks and months play out, and it would be absolutely wonderful to make this a years-long thing, and I really enjoy the growth that I've seen doing this so far, and I look forward to a whole lot more. So thank you guys. Remember, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research and due diligence. Contact a financial advisor before making any financial decisions. I'm Dr. Stock. Thanks for rocking with me. Now go get that money.